Assalamu alaikum guys. Hey guys, can you guys see anything? Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, so I thought I'd just do a little video on how to read. So those of you guys who have studied a bit of Arabic and wanted to know how to apply reading, and I'm going to give you some tips on how basically I used to do this, or I even do this now. So for example, like here's a book. Yeah, it's called Al-Qira'a Al-Rashida. Yeah, Al-Qira'a Al-Rashida. So this is a good book to start with, or any other book that you guys are familiar with or you got access to. So what you basically need to remember is when you study something like Arabic, then what tends to happen is you study a lot of rules and application is little. So what you need to do is you need to apply as much as you can. So how are you going to apply it? Firstly, if you can, try to get someone who can help you read. So if you can get someone maybe who knows a bit of Arabic, get them to help you out. Sit down with them, read to them, just like sit down and start reading Ahmad wa kayfa an-nas yawma idhin ya abati yakunu an-nas, like that. Just read to them and let them spot your mistakes. And then what will happen, the same mistakes that you make time and time again, if you fix them, I guarantee you'd be able to read easily, right? And a lot of people can actually read a lot of texts without even thinking of the Arabic rules, just because they've able to read it and understand the Arabic words. So that's one way. If you guys want to improve your Arabic, that's one way to do it, is basically sit with someone, get someone, maybe on Skype or something, even if you can get hold of someone, and read to them, maybe daily, maybe weekly or something, or have like a circle where you read. And you have to read, that's the thing. Yeah, so a lot of people, they're shy to read, and because they're shy to read, what tends to happen is that in their mind, passively, they'll know the rules, but when it comes to reading a text, they find it extremely difficult, too shy. So you don't want to be one of those kind of people. So again, like reading Quran as well. So you need to read to someone. Don't be shy, and get your mistakes taken out and highlight them. So that's the first thing. If you can get access to a person, excellent. If you can't get access to a person, right, then what you need to do is like follow someone else who's reading and just follow the mistakes they're making, or listen to, like I do those sometimes online reading classes. Just follow that. Okay, otherwise, if you want to improve your self-understanding of Arabic texts, right, and application of grammar, then what you need to do is you need to do 4 things. Okay, do 4 things. The first is, let's say for example you got this text here. So I don't know if you can see this text. Yeah, if you can see that text there. Right, so read out aloud. Yeah, reading out aloud. But the thing with reading out loud is, if there's no one there to correct your mistakes, then you reading aloud might create some habits in your, some wrong habits which you don't want. Yeah, wrong habits will stick with you, and then it's very difficult to get rid of them as well. So pronunciation and these habits, you need to get them fixed by someone who knows. So okay, so something like this text, right? You get this text. First of all, you read through it. Okay, so read through this text, a paragraph or a few lines. And then what you do is, the difficult words in there, the words that ignore them. But the difficult words, so let's say for example, so in this, let's say there's words like hunalika. So let's say for example you came across the word hunalika, and you're thinking to yourself, hunalika, what does that mean? Highlight it, and then move on. You don't waste time. And then carry on, read more. And let's say you come to another word, let's say for example the word ariya. Okay, so you come across the word ariya. So then what you do is highlight that word as well. And like that, you make the whole list. Right, so you make a whole list. And vocab, yeah, I'll come to vocab inshallah. So when you make this list, so you've read through this entire paragraph or page. Now what you're going to have with you is, you're going to have many words that are highlighted. Then you're going to go and you're going to look up those words. So you look up those words, you try and find the meaning of the words in the dictionary, and that way when you're like focusing on a particular word, that word stays in your mind. It's very, very difficult for you to forget that word now because you put effort in trying to understand that word, right? So that is something that really helps you memorize something, when you have to actively put some effort in trying to understand how it works. Okay, so that's basically something that you can do. Second step, step number 2, is what you do is the second time you read through it, you know the verbs that you get. So try and isolate the verbs and work out what each verb is indicating towards, because what happens is a lot of students, they can't conjugate verbs. So they might see a verb and they don't know, do I use this verb for a single masculine? Do I use this verb for a single feminine? Where is this verb going back to? Or what's the fa'il of this verb? What's the subject? So you can get really stuck on that as well. So for example, like, let's say there, فَيَسْتَنِيرُ. So you got that word there. You can see it, يَسْتَنِيرُ. So يَسْتَنِيرُ, you're probably thinking, what kind of word is that? So then you figure out, okay, يَسْتَنِيرُ is from istanara, يَسْتَنِيرُ, istinaratan. You try and work out what they call the abwabs, right? And when you start working out the abwabs, the babs, then what you do is that bab will keep repeating itself again and again. Because if you got a story, most likely the author is going to repeat a lot of the verbs that he's using. Yeah, so you need to fix on that. Yeah, focus on trying to apply the verbs. And a lot of people who study, for example, sarf, that's the biggest problem that they have, is sometimes they'll think, okay, is it yadribuna, is it tadribuna, which one do I use here, which one is yeah, and that's something which gets a lot of students. So application of verbs, that's the second. The third, what you do now is, when you read through it now, what you need to do is grammatical, Arabic grammar. You need to apply grammar now. So for example, like, you start from here, yeah? So for instance, you say something like, Hisham, وَمِنْ أَيْنَ هَذَا النُّورِ. So min, what's waw here? Yeah, what's waw grammatically? What's the min here? Aina, what's aina here? Hada, what's that? So grammatically you break the words down. Yeah, you break the words down, identify each word. Grammatically, what do you call each word? And how does it fit together, what we call i'rab? You do the i'rab with tarkib. So min aina hada nur. So min aina, let's say for example, min aina, so min is jar. Aina is the dharf majroor. So this is the jar majroor put together, becomes muta'alliq to thabitun. And then hada nur is ism ishara, and an-nur is the mushar alayhi. Yeah, or it's the the badal of the hada mubdal badal min put together becomes the mubtada muakhar, like that. Yeah, so it's going to take you time. I mean, I did it quickly, but obviously if you're beginning, it's going to be something that's going to take you a bit of time to focus on. So you put your effort in, and inshallah, don't worry, do a line a day, 2 lines a day. And as you're going through it, what will happen is you'll slowly start to train yourself into how to identify words. So automatically, as soon as you see a word, it's like it's like a motor motion, yeah, where your mind just quickly clicks. You know how to look for the word. You know exactly what to look for. Right. So once you've done all of that, let's say you've done the tarkib of all this passage, for example, right, which is a big thing. Which if it takes you like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, that's excellent. That is. Yeah. Then the fourth thing that you need to do after that is you have to now read it and try and figure out what he's saying. Yeah, try and figure out what is he saying here. So in other words, the linguistic aspect of it now. So what is he saying? So putting all that together, these 4 things, it will take you time. Yeah, definitely take your time. You don't want to come easy. Yeah? You don't like become Incredible Hulk in overnight. It takes the guys months. Yeah, so don't worry, take your time. Read or show it to someone. You can, if you want to have a go at something, maybe even you can send it to me if you like. That's fine. Inshallah, if I get time, I'll look at it. I'll try to correct you in a few things, send it back to you. So that's what you can do. Have a go at that. Okay, so translation is very important to understand the Quran. Inshallah, we'll memorize the whole Quran translation. Excellent. Okay, I find it difficult to find long words by the 3 root letters in the Handsway dictionary. Any advice? Yeah, so the reason you're finding it difficult is possibly several reasons. Either number 1, you haven't studied the different abwabs of sarf. Yeah, so the different types, the formations of words. You might not have studied them. That might be one reason. So the solution to that is study the different forms. Like for example, you might have studied that there's something called istif'al, but you might not have studied istif'al comes in the sahih pattern. Yeah, like for example, ista'lama, or istif'al comes in the mithal pattern. Yes, so istana, is istawhasha. Okay, so the ajwaf pattern or the naqis pattern. Yeah, istanara or istada'a. So that's what can get you out there. So you have to remember. That's the first thing. The second thing is sometimes what happens is you get confused that is the seen part of the word or is the seen something extra. Does that make sense? Or for example, like you mostly get this in ajwaf words, mithal ajwaf words, where is it a waw? Is it a noon? Does that make sense? So the solution to this is you have to try and figure out different formations or different combinations. So you might look in the dictionary and let's say for example there's a word istanara. So you look up noon alif ra. So you can look up noon alif ra and you're going to say, wait a minute, I can't find anything noon alif ra in Arabic. So then you're going to look up noon waw ra. So when you look up noon waw ra, then you go, okay, yeah, it falls under this pattern. Does that make sense? So combination, sometimes there might be 4 possibilities of what this word could be. Look up all of them. Yeah, and you're only going to look up for that particular word, you're only going to look at it once, because after that you'll know it. Yeah, and like that you won't have to look too many times for words. Okay, yeah, can I send you a video of my translation? I mean, possibly. I mean, if you can send, cause I might not have time to watch all the videos if everyone sends me videos, but send me, if I do get time I'll have a look. How do you know the tarkib you made is right? So that's the thing. Yeah, that's where you have to get it checked by someone. So you get it checked by someone. Yeah, and this what I'm telling you is like preparation before lesson. Yeah, this is what I used to do, preparation before lesson. So you get it checked by someone and then they'll tell you, okay, here's where you made the mistake. So now in the future you won't make that mistake again. You see, you can send me a video, but the issue is, I mean, I'll have to watch the whole video and then it takes me a bit of time. So I mean, if there's like 10 guys sending me videos, yeah, it's gonna have to maybe watch, 1 minute each, 10 minutes, or maybe 10 minutes of each. So it's about an hour or so. So this is, I mean, you try sending me if you want, and if I do get time, I'll look. But if I don't get time, but if you send me written down, that's easier for me. Yeah, I'm from England, UK. Alhamdulillah, UK Sharif. Yeah, so that's basically some tips on how to do the reading. Yeah, any other? If you got any questions, you can ask me some questions now, inshallah, about this. So this is a book, like I said, Al-Qira'a Rashida. You can get lots of books online. Yeah, if you wanna, like, if you just wanna speak with people, you don't need to study grammar. Yeah, you can just learn conversation. But if you wanna study, for example, something like books, right? Then, or Quran even, then grammar is quite important, because that gives you the depth. Whereas conversation, it just you kind of get the gist of what the books are saying. Does that make sense? So I mean, you will be able to understand many books just with conversation Arabic, but you might get stuck in certain places if you don't know grammar. So I mean, I know quite a few people, Arabs, who know Arabic very well. They don't know much grammar, and so when they read the books, they can understand to a certain degree, maybe 60%, maybe 70% even, of the content. But then sometimes when it comes to a certain sentence or expression or a word, they'll get stuck. Yeah, so they won't know, okay, wait a minute, is this word talking about this? Is it a maf'ul lahu? Yeah, something like that. Okay, sometimes grammar can be hard. Yeah, grammar, definitely. Yeah, grammar is hard. Yeah, it takes time. Will you be reading from the book today? No, I'm not going to be reading from the book. I just thought I'd give you a few tips on how to read a book. Yeah, so Ameen. Yes, definitely, inshallah. Fix it tajweed, inshallah. So I mean, you can get quite a few books online. Yeah, balagha. I don't know why some madrasas, a lot of madrasas, they don't do balagha. I mean, where I studied, they did balagha. But it's very, very important, balagha is, because balagha is, like, for example, let me explain to you how balagha works. Like, in English balagha would be like this. If I said something like this to you, if I said, uh, you know, the other day the guy was driving me up the wall. So the sentence, the guy was driving me up the wall, okay, this is used for when someone is really annoying you. So I could have said this, that, the other day in the shop, the guy was annoying me. But by me saying the guy was driving me up the wall, it gives it more emphasis. Yeah, there's more power in there, that, I'm not just saying to you the guy's annoying me, but I'm actually kind of visualizing it for you. So it has more impact on your mind and your heart. So that's one aspect of balagha as well. Or, for example, like using certain types of wording, sequence of wording. So in English, for example, if I said, she sells seashells on the seashore, yeah, there's balagha in there as well, a certain type of balagha. And likewise, if I, break certain words or extend certain words, yeah, so this has balagha in there. So, for example, like if I say, that that guy, yeah, he's so annoying, that guy. So instead of saying his name, I said that guy. So you can tell just by my words how much I hate him, that I don't even want to say his name. So you see, all of that requires you either to be born and brought up with the language, like the Sahaba were, or you got to learn it. So for us, because we're not born and brought up in the language of the Sahaba, what you need to do is you need to study the balagha. You need to study how they used to say things, the impact of shortening a sentence and stretching a sentence. And all of this is very important, especially in the Quran. Extremely important. Otherwise, you won't be able to tell when Allah is angry, or when Allah is happy, or when Allah is telling someone off, or when someone is being sarcastic in the Quran. Yeah. أَهَذَا الَّذِي بَعَثَ اللَّهُ رَسُولًا. Yeah. So if you look at that, أَهَذَا الَّذِي, is this the one that Allah has sent as a messenger? Now, if I said that, it doesn't really make too much sense to a person, that why are they saying this? But if I say to you that Arabs use hada to degrade someone, yeah, to kind of look down upon someone. هذا الذي, is this the guy that they're saying that Allah sent as a messenger? So you can see that derogatory expression that they're giving. So like that, balagha, this is extremely important if you want to understand balagha. And like I mentioned some while back on my Facebook as well, I said that balagha is like, this is key to understanding the Quran. Without balagha, Arabic grammar is just there to give you the structure of the language, so that you know that where you're not allowed to, make mistakes, or where you're not allowed to go past. It kind of gives you the limits. But balagha, it gives you the context of words, yeah, how words are used, and whether those words are used in a negative way, in a positive way, yeah, and all of these things. So balagha is of, there's three, and I put my Facebook up today, those books, and the course that I've done. There's two courses I've done. One is called Ilm al-Ma'ani, which deals with like the grammatical side of balagha. Yeah, the usage of wows. Sometimes Allah uses a wow, sometimes he uses a fa. Right? Sometimes he'll stretch a sentence, make it long. Sometimes he shortens a sentence. So the effect of all of these in the Quran. This is called Ilm al-Ma'ani. And there's another course that I've done, which was Ilm al-Bayan al-Badi. And that's more to do, Badi is more to do with the beautification of the sentences, the rhythms in the sentences, the repetition of certain words, and the different types of words that are used. Like, for example, Allah, in one verse, Allah will use a wording which is like in Surah, if you look in Surah An-Najm, you'll get like wordings that have this kind of rhythmic flow to it. And in another surah, Allah will use a different flow. So what's the effect of that? And Ilm al-Bayan is basically about like expressions, how you can say one thing in several ways, and what's the effect of each one. So Ilm al-Ma'ani, let me give an example of Ilm al-Ma'ani, yeah? For example, like if I said this to you, look, أكل أطعم زيد خالدا طعاما. أطعم زيد خالدا طعاما. Zayd fed Khalid food. 4 words in it. Zayd fed Khalid food. So Now in Arabic, in Arabic, right, you can actually rearrange these words in different ways. So if I said to you, أكل أطعم زيد خالد طعام, and then I said أطعم زيد طعام خالد, and then I said أطعم زيد أطعم خالدا زيد طعاما, I can rearrange it 16 different ways, and each one has a slightly different connotation, slightly different, yeah, in how you use it. But in English, when you translate it, you're going to say all the 16 exactly the same way. Yeah, you'll say Zaid fed Khalid food. Food, Zaid, Khalid fed. You can't say that. But in Arabic, you can say that. So in the Quran, sometimes when Allah says something like Allahu yakhluqu ma yasha, or yakhluqu Allahu ma yasha, how Allah brings words forward and backwards. And this all has an effect. Yeah, and the Arabs knew this. The Sahaba, they knew the differences in these. So this is why Balagha is extremely important. Otherwise, Quran is just like another book to a lot of people. They'll read it and they'll say, "Oh, this is no different from reading another Arabic book." If you read it through translation, because you can't see the beauty. But once you read it through the Arabic and you've studied Balagha, it's like puts you in a totally different world. Yeah. So that's answering your question regarding the Balagha. That's the importance of Balagha, and I don't know why they don't teach it in women's madrasas. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe some women's madrasas they do teach it. Okay, what are the best books for Arabic reading? So for Arabic reading, what I would suggest is read books like Qasasun Nabiyyin. So this is a good book. Qira'a Rashida, a very good book. Yeah, and there's some books here, like for example Qasasun Nabiyyin. I don't know if you read that. Very, very good. Okay, very good. Okay, so read that. There's also, so this is the 5th part of Qasasun Nabiyyin. This is quite hard. This is quite hard for people, but this, if you can reach this level of reading Arabic and understanding comprehension, this is excellent. Yeah, so it's all beneficial things as well, like topics about the prophets and the Prophet ﷺ. Arba'una Hadith, this is a very good book, yeah, for comprehension. So this is 40 hadith that have been written by Dr. Abdul Rahim, the one that has done the Medina books. So this is a very, very good, right? You kind of go through the hadith and you've got exercises and application of words, and it's got exercise. So for example, let me show you. So for instance, like you bring a hadith. It brings a hadith. Man takallama fil mahdi. Yeah. From those children in history who spoke when they were newborns. Okay, so he goes through the hadith, and then what he has this section, Sharhul Kalimat. Yeah, so he explains hard words. That he does what I just told you a bit earlier. He does that for you. So for example, look, he says stuff like, here's Mahad, right? Sarir, Tifal, and then this is the Jama, this is the plural. So he kind of goes through it with you. Right, and then he's got like a little section on and he even like explains words, how Arabs say them as well. So he gives you the context of words, and then he goes into the Nahu aspect of it as well. Yeah, he breaks down the difficult Nahu words. He breaks them down. Yeah, so like a Rab, so he explains what a is. A min adawat nida. Yeah, so okay, so your Nahu is being exercised as well here, and then he has section on tamreen, exercises for you to do, that you can do yourselves, and then that's it. Yeah, so he has the text, and then he has his 3 sections after that, and you go through the entire book like this. So you're applying your grammar, you're learning more, and I think he's got one on Surah Yusuf that you can get in Surah Yusuf. He's done one on Surah similar fashion. So it's very good, these books. I mean, if you can get through these books, this is a big thing. Right, but like I said, try going through something, inshallah. Okay, do you think it's possible to fluent Arabic in the UK? Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've got students, and many of the students, they can speak Arabic very well. They teach Arabic, some of my students in the UK. They teach classes of Arabic. So, alhamdulillah. Okay, the thing about Nur al-Idah, books like Nur al-Idah, what you have to remember about them is these are textbooks. So textbooks have their own language. So there's two things you have to remember about textbooks. Number one is the language. The language is very formal language. Okay, it's very kind of legal language, you can say. And so the second thing that you have to remember is you need to learn terms. Yeah, you need to learn terminology. You need to like how the fuqaha or the jurists say things. So as long as you can get these two things, and this is why I wouldn't advise studying like legal books unless you're going to study them from a teacher, because you're going to get really stuck and then you'll get burnt out and you won't want to read it anymore. Yeah, so for example, like let me show you guys. Okay, so this is like a really advanced book. Yeah, this is an advanced book in Hanafi Fiqh. This is called Radd al-Muhtar. So this is, you won't be reading this. Yeah, but this is something that I read. These are the kind of books that I read. Yeah. Now, if you were to try and read this kind of book, you know, you can see all my markings on the side as well, highlighting. Yeah, you know, you'd probably be stuck because you haven't studied fiqh. So, because you ain't studied fiqh, what tends to happen is you won't know what he's on about. Yeah, and you'll be reading and you'll be saying, I can't make sense of this, and then you give up. So it's best not to start off with fiqh books unless you're studying it from a teacher. Okay, good. Can you make a video? And if you want to like learn how to read fiqh books, I've done Quduri videos. So if you go through Quduri videos that I've made on my YouTube channel, they're free. And I go through like 3 steps of how to read the text. So that way, you know, that's a very easy way to, you know, read these kind of books. Okay, can you make a video of how to understand the Quran? How to understand the Quran, like in what way? Okay, what is the best explanation of Ajurumiyah? I don't really read explanations. Yeah, I just, you know, do my own thing with Ajurumiyah. So I mean, I think there's Sheikh Salih Uthaymeen. Yeah, I think his explanation that he's got, his sharh, that's a very easy to follow for students. Nice, Arabic is quite nice. Yeah, that's easy to follow. I think I would recommend that one. There are a few others. I think there's is it al Hadiyah al Bahiyya, what it's called, which is quite long, very long. So that I wouldn't advise that for a beginner. That's for more someone who's advanced in Nahu. But I mean, what I explain in my YouTube videos on Ajurumiyah is just basic, really basic what the text is saying, and that's what you want really for all books that you study. That's all you want. You want to understand what the author is saying, and you don't want to fill it in with too much extra things. So sometimes what happens is you study a book, but you're studying that book like at a really advanced level. Yeah, so it's an easy, simple book, but the teacher's teaching you like 2 notches advanced. Yeah, 2 gears advanced, and that is hard for the student because the student just wants to understand what the author is saying. And if you want to study something advanced, wait until you've reached that level, then study at that level. So it's like, you know, imagine someone in school who's in secondary school and you're teaching him A level, yeah, or someone who's in high school and you're teaching them at, you know, college level, university level. So you're teaching them science, but you're teaching at a very high level. So it's not beneficial for them. Yeah, it might not even help them, and they might just get burnt out. So you need to do things step by step. Keep everyone at the right level, Yeah, and that way, you know, you'll progress as well, you'll benefit, and you'll feel you're benefiting, inshallah. Does that make sense? Yeah, any other questions you guys got? Just got a few more minutes, then I'll log off, inshallah. Okay, what you need to understand the Quran. I mean, if you just want to understand the Quran at a very basic level, if you just want to understand the Arabic of what Allah is saying, a really basic level, all you need is you need to study a bit of Arabic grammar. I mean, I've got that 17 lessons that I do. The next course is starting in March. All you have to do is just follow the Arabic grammar and just apply it to the Quran, and that way the basic understanding of the Quran you will have. Yeah, so imagine like there's 10 levels of understanding of the Quran. You'll have level number 1. But if you want to go more advanced, then you'd have to study the Arabic sciences in more detail. So I've done on my Facebook, I've done a long post. I actually didn't today. It was a long post on how to develop your Quran studies. Yeah, and I went into 6 points, 6 steps of how to make it more advanced and how to get deeper and deeper. Okay, so how to learn vocab without forgetting it. So how to learn vocab without forgetting it. The best thing I think for learning vocab, I find, is flashcards. Yeah, so like get yourself a card, write the word that you don't know, write it down, and the back of it write down in English or whatever language you want, and then keep those cards with you, and then test yourself. And you can get some apps as well that have done the whole thing for you. So all you have to do is in the apps just fill in the card, and then every day will show you a list of cards, a list of hard words, and then the words that you learn, you just tick them off. Yeah, memorization, definitely. So memorization of hadith, memorization is key. Memorization is key to learning Arabic. And my teacher used to say this. He used to say, اللغة تعلم اللغة للطالب ومثل السلاح للمجاهد. Yeah, so learning the language, learning the words, is like weapons for a soldier. If a soldier goes to battle without any weapons, he's in trouble. And if a student expects to learn knowledge without memorizing vocab, he's not going to do it. That's what you got to do, basically. Yeah, memorize as much as you can. And in some places in the world, they like memorize. I mean, when in our madrasa where I studied, the teachers would encourage us to every year to memorize one book in one subject in Arabic. Just memorize it from cover to cover, because you learn lots of stuff. Okay, Quranic, what's the book you were recommending for learning Arabic language? The one where the author had certain exercises. Yeah, it's called Arba'una Hadith. Yeah, the book is called Arba'una Hadith. You can get it in, I think, Usmani bookstore. I think you can get it online as well. 40 Hadith. Yeah, these books written by Dr. Abdul Rahim. Very, very good. Very, very useful. You can get lots of his books, his compilations, or his works that he's done. Yeah, any other? Alhamdulillah, yeah, mashallah, the children trying to learn how to read the Quran. Very nice. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, so any of you guys got any more questions you want to ask? Yeah, so it's just all about practicing, really. Yeah, the more you practice, don't be overwhelmed. Wa iyyakum. So don't be overwhelmed with reading books. You just need the right method. Yeah, if you got the right method, it's like someone who goes into the kitchen and has got the ingredients but doesn't know how to mix the ingredients together. Yeah, what happens is they just make all sorts of rubbish. And what else happens is, that if a person is a student and is trying to learn a book but doesn't know how to learn the book, doesn't know where to start from and what they're doing, whether their method of going over the book is right or wrong, it just wastes a lot of time. Students, sometimes years go by and they're just not using their time efficiently. Yeah, Medina books, Bayna Yaday books are very good. It depends what you want them for. If you want them for conversation Arabic, yeah, very good. It's a bit long. It's going to take you a long time. Maybe Bayna Yaday might take you, a few years to cover all 3 volumes. But yeah, I mean, I've got Bayna Yaday here somewhere. Is it here? Yeah, so when I got part 1 here, Bayna Yaday. Yeah, this is Bayna Yaday. This is the old version of Bayna Yaday. Got a new version now. So this is this is 1 volume. So it's very simple. Starts off very simple. Conversation is very good, and the Medina books. Here's the Medina books. Yeah, the Medina books are also very kind of conversational based books. I mean, what a ordinary person. I mean, it depends. Whenever you're learning something, what do you want to learn it for? Always remember that. If you're learning Arabic, what do you want to learn it for? Do you want to learn it to understand the Quran? Do you want to learn it to speak with someone? Do you want to learn it? What do you want to learn it for? So if you want to learn to understand the Quran, like I said to you, if you do the kind of basic Arabic, like the 17 lesson course that I have, or anything similar to that, that's kind of enough to start off. Yeah, and then the rest of your life is your journey in learning more and more and more. Okay, that's, I mean, you always remember that you're always a student, and whether you're 16 or whether you're 60, it doesn't really matter. You're always going to be learning more every day. I mean, I still learn more. I've been studying and teaching Arabic for 16, 17 years now, and I'm still learning more. Every day I'm learning something new. So, you should never be shy of learning. Always try and endeavor to learn something new in Arabic. Yeah, and the biggest thing that stops people from learning is shyness. Yeah, so shyness is a big barrier for a lot of people. Some people are just too shy to speak to people in Arabic, yeah, because they think they might laugh at them, and they won't laugh. I mean, there's lots of people who come to your country and try and speak your language and have so broken, like, English. You don't find people laughing at them. Yeah, we don't laugh at people who can't speak English properly. We just get on with it. We actually try to speak like them when they speak to us. Yeah, hello brother, you okay? Yeah. Even though we can speak English properly. So that's what you have to remember. Just try your best. Speak with people. Write Arabic. Yeah, every day. I've got like diaries that I used to write in the past in Arabic every day. What I used to do, just write it down. Just have a go. Just do that. Just send it. You can send it to me if you like. Yeah, just write down. Obviously, don't write too personal stuff, but just write down things you do. I ate this today and I really enjoyed it. So start off very basic writing, 4 or 5 lines a day, and then make it more in depth. The sentences. So maybe like one day you might say something like this: اليوم أكلت الأرز والدجاجة مع الحمص. And then next day you might want to add, maybe eat the same food again, but then you want to add اليوم جلست على الكرسي ووضعت أمامي صحن فيه دجاج وحمص. And then next day maybe you want to advance it more and you want to add, let's say, adjectives to it, or you want to add مضاف إليه to it, or you want to add some more stuff to it. Yeah, then you just say like that: اليوم كان ليلة باردة وكنت جعت كثيرا جدا فجلست أمام المائدة ووضعت لنفسي الأرز ودجاج ساخن وأكلت الدجاج بالشوك أو بيدي وكان أمامي الحمص وبعض الخضروات والسلطة. Yeah, so stuff like that. So you're going to practice, you're going to be experimenting, become creative in how you say things, express yourself, and try and use sentences that you've read somewhere. Yeah, so let's say you read Medina book, or you read, the books that I showed you, and you came across a sentence. Yeah, and you say, okay, I like how you said that, and let me try and use it in my daily Arabic. Use that, and you'll see you're going to improve all the time, inshallah. Yeah, so don't be shy. Yeah, don't be shy. Try your best. Yeah, that's the main thing. You try your best. Don't compare yourself with other people. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Don't compare yourself with other people. Always try and do whatever you can. Yeah, and work towards becoming better and better, inshallah. Main thing is you're always going to need a teacher when you're learning. Yeah, or you're going to need someone to supervise you, help you out, inshallah. Yeah, any other question anyone's got? You guys, mashallah, very quiet today. Normally you guys have loads of questions. No, you're too shy. So you should ask questions. Yeah, don't worry if you feel shy, you're not gonna, like I said, improve. So if you got any questions, any sort of thing, don't think that my question is too silly. Maybe the teacher will laugh at me, or maybe other people will laugh at me. Don't worry about them. Forget it. Yeah, man ضحك ضحك, like they say, man ضحك ضحك. ضحك يضحك, yeah, and ضحك يضحك. So whoever laughs, man ضحك ضحك, he will be laughed at. So remember that, and just say whatever you like. And when I was learning Arabic, people used to laugh at me a lot. The students, when I was studying, and they don't care. Let them laugh. But alhamdulillah, now I can speak Arabic, I can teach Arabic, I can read Arabic books, and I don't know where my friends are. I mean, they've gone back to their own homes. So be confident, speak Arabic, make yourself like a group, that you regularly speak Arabic with. Write down a blog or something in Arabic, make videos speaking Arabic. Maybe you can inspire other people as well, inshallah. So anything else, guys? Any other questions before I finish, or I'll just finish off if no one else has got any questions? No, nothing else. You guys just like stalking, watching me on the video. So what do you guys think of having a regular vlog or something? If I make a regular vlog, a few minutes of vlog, maybe a week or 2-3 times a week on my YouTube channel. Maybe just covering certain things, questions people have on how to study, how to read, how to learn certain things. I was thinking about that, but I don't know what the interest would be. Okay, do you know the link for the Sharh of Ajurumiyya? Which Sharh? Which Sharh is that? Because I can't remember which one I mentioned. If you remind me which one. Because there's quite a few commentaries, Sharhs of Ajurumiyya. Easy to go for it. It's easy. But I'm obviously gonna need questions from you guys. You guys don't want to ask me questions, so what am I gonna vlog about? I can't vlog about my mustache, every day. I'm gonna get bored of it. Definitely make one. Make a group for yourself. Get some like-minded people, inshallah. Matan simply means text. A matan means a text. So matan literally means the back of an animal. The back of an animal. So it's considered to be strong. The back of any animal is the strongest part of the body. So they call the text the matan because it's the strong part. Al-Bahiyya, okay. So Al-Bahiyya, actually, I can actually find it here, and I can just let me just try and Sharh al-Ajurumiyya. Let's see if there's one here. Okay, here it is. Yes. Okay, there's a book. There's actually this website which has all these commentaries. Don't become a commentary man. Man. Commentaries, they mess you up. The main thing is understand the text. Some people are just after commentaries all the time, and they want to find as many commentaries as they can. And the problem with that is they don't learn the science properly, and then they still think that they have to read all the commentaries in that book. You don't have to read the commentaries. I haven't read all the commentaries on all the books. As long as you understand a text, and then you advance and you read another advanced text, and then you advance, that's the main thing. You do not need any commentary. That's why I don't need any commentary to teach something like Ajurumiyya. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, Jazakumullah khair. I'll show you guys my Arabic Nahu that I'm writing. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, let me show you guys. This is my book that I'm writing. Yeah, can you guys see that? Yeah, this is my Arabic book. So this is the contents pages. Make dua, guys. Gets completed. So it's basically like this. It's gonna be in English, like that. You wish I lived in America. America doesn't want you, man. I was gonna come there, but they didn't give me visa. Yeah, your people didn't give me a visa, man. Look at this. Yeah, so for example, this is a section on maf'ul. Maf'ul. Is it maf'ul fihi? Yeah, maf'ul fihi. So writing in the examples. Different types. So hopefully this is going to be like a concise. This is going to be a concise book on all of Nahu that an English reader would need. Yeah, or an English reader would need. Ameen. Make dua, guys. I guess then. Is at the moment it's 100 and let's see, about 160 pages. But obviously when I put the examples in and a bit of explanation, it's going to come to maybe 250. I would say maybe 200, 300 pages. Yeah, so it's just purely for someone who knows English. And it's covering all the major. I've looked through, like, you've seen how many books I use for my grammar, for my balagha. Yeah, so I've used quite a lot for the Arabic as well. Ameen. Jazakallah khair, guys, for your kind duas. Okay, where can I find Abdul Rahim's books? I'm not sure, if you Google it, I'm sure you should be able to find somewhere. Google it somewhere. I think you should be able to find online a lot of his books. No, this was before Trump. Obama didn't let me in. Yeah, I don't know. They got that visa thing they check. So I don't know, man. Maybe I didn't have the mustache then. Yeah, now I got the mustache. If I apply again, maybe they let me in. Who knows? Yeah, so that's that, man. So yeah, this is the book that I'm working on. So I started this book because I saw a lot of students when they study Arabic grammar. There's a lot of them that find it a problem because they study one book, and in one book they'll cover something like one topic, and then they won't talk about this certain aspect that's found in another book. So it's like students studying Arabic grammar and then thinking, you know what, I haven't learned this, and I haven't learned this, and I haven't learned this, and they end up studying like 10 books of Arabic grammar. So instead of all that, I just said, let me write one book, inshallah. So this should be for someone who's got basic understanding of Arabic grammar. They should be able to do, inshallah, hopefully. So any other questions, any other requests, inshallah? I'm trying to get as much examples as I can from the Quran. Obviously the Quran doesn't have all the examples, or doesn't have to use all the Arabic rules. There's a lot of Arabic rules that are not in the Quran, which I found outside the Quran. So this is why I've mentioned as many Arabic Quranic examples as I can. Okay, Islam established in Leicester. Yeah, do they have them as well? Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Alright, guys, so if there's no other questions, if you guys are tired of asking questions, then Jazakumullah khair. And if you want me to do like another video in the future sometime, if you just leave some suggestions, maybe in the future, inshallah, I can do a little video. Jazakumullah khair, guys. Wherever you are from around the world, hope you guys have a nice evening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.